All right. Hello, everyone. Click on, click off. How did I do this last? Let me see. I did something last time where something went wrong. Let's do this. There we go. Now I can see your comments. Kinda. You're kind of far away. But hello, everyone. Okay. Okay. Over. All right. Figure out how to label this. Forgot to do that. No, okay. I'll just do it later. All right. Hello. Welcome. It is that time again. Oh, I forgot water today. Um, it is that time again. It is Sunday Night Live, and I hope everyone's been doing good this week. Um, this week's just going to be a little refresher. The thing I want to do, I just didn't have time to get it going. So we'll do that next week. So hope you're all doing good. Let me double check something here because I was having trouble signing on. It was really weird. That's why I'm a couple minutes behind. No, it looks like, oh, and then I see a bunch of comments. Doobie doobie. Let me turn that down. Go like this. Okay, well, okay, well, your comments are not showing up where I want them to. They're showing up here, but okay, so I see everyone. Hi, hi. So, a lot of you already know the technique I'm going to do, but we do have a lot of new members. So this might be something new to you. This might just be a good refresher. Basically, tonight we're going to be going over outlining an embroidery and going into IQ Designer or My Design Center, if you have that, and putting fills around it to create kind of like a quilting around the design. Also, there was a question about design suites, so I am going to go over how to bring that into the Solaris Vision. You can use the design suites in the Solaris Vision, or you can use it in palette 11. So as far as I know, that's it right at the point right now where you can use them. Now, if you have palette 11, you can totally like create anything and everything with those fills. So think about that. And I have done some videos on how to bring those in Palette 11. And I have done some videos on how to bring it into the Solaris Vision as well, but we're going to go over it again tonight, just in case. So just getting everyone signing on here. Okay, perfect. All right. So anything new? Nope, nothing new. But let's talk about what we are going to do. And so, well, let me show you a picture actually. This is a quilt that I'm looking over here because it's hanging up over here. I didn't want to take it down because it's kind of a pain to get it back up, but I took a picture of it so I can show you guys what I'm talking about, what we're going to go over tonight. So this quilt has sat around for probably 2 years before I finished it. This year is my year of finishing my whips. And if you don't know what a whip is, that's a work in progress. And so I really have been doing really good about knocking things out, even if they're little small things. I'm notorious for starting things and not finishing them. Jason can tell you that I'm terrible about that because I really want to start it, really, really want to start it. And then something new comes along and I'm like, I really want to start that. I'm gonna turn my little fan on real quick. I'm a little warm. I shouldn't wear long sleeve. Um, but we've had terrible weather, so it's kind of cooler. Let's see. So thank you, Mickey. Um, so this quilt embodies pretty much everything that I love about IQ Designer. The once you see it, the birds are from Zandra Shaw, and the rest of the quilting done throughout the whole quilt is done in IQ Designer. So let me pull that up and show it to you guys. I love this thing. It is so pretty, and I'm going to zoom in so you can really see what's happening here. So first off, like I said, the birds, these applique birds, which are just beautiful, are from Zandra Shaw. Um, yeah, I love unfinished projects. But let me show you. So what we're going to do today is let's look at our little blue bird right here. That's what I'm going to show you how to do today is to echo around your your embroidery and put fills around it. But if you will be around this Wednesday, about I think it's 3:30 Eastern time for the Sewing Machines Plus quilting blah, 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 National Quilting Month big shebang that they have. I'm going to be showing how to do this right here. So using IQ Designer. So basically, I had some quilt blocks, or I made some quilt blocks, and I used IQ Designer in all of the what I'm considering the negative space. So in all the white background. And so it makes these beautiful colors here pop. I did not do any quilting in the color spots. I only did it in the what I consider the negative space. So I will be showing how to do that. Now I just made a post on in our group about the Sewing Machines Plus um thingy going on. I can't even speak tonight. So I'll put up more information about when I'll be going on to show how to do that. But tonight we're going to work on this. But look how beautiful this came out. This one really is one of my most I I look at this. Do you ever really look at things and go, I did that? I still surprise myself daily because I hate to say I'm humble, but I am very humble. You know, I love what I do, but sometimes I think what I do looks like bleh. And then I look at things like this that I've done and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. And it's so beautiful. Like I said, this one sat around for a couple years before I finished it. Now, my goal was you can see the quilting on the actual side here where the little hand is. That is in the Solaris. You can do borders. But you can do quilting in the hoop from different companies that have border designs. My goal was to do it all the way in here. And then I was just like, you know what? Anna, just get this thing done. Just stitch in the ditch besides these borders. And that's what it did. You can kind of see the little square here. That's from stitching in the ditch. Um, but yeah, I had a really good time doing this. And finally, what was it, last week or the week before, I went up to my local quilt shop, Bernina Connection, and had them help me pick out a backing fabric and a binding and finished it. So I was super proud of that. So thank you guys. So that is, you know, one of my whips that I finally finished that is not sitting. Did I just, oh, okay, there we go. I'm like, oh gosh, I hope it didn't just turn off the whole thing. So that's what I'm going to kind of show you today. So here's one of the birds that they didn't get rejected. I just didn't make a big enough quilt. But you may not really be able to see the quilting in this, but I'll show you another close-up of it here in a little while. Um, I can't remember if you can buy these separately or if these are in one of Zandra's you know, where you pay monthly type of things. I can't remember, but I loved these birds, and birds remind me of my nanny. And so I wanted to make sure I had some birds in here. And so, yeah. So now I think I have three of these. So I think I'm going to make a little table runner. And I still, for some reason, had quilt blocks. So I made a bunch of this stuff. So I have enough to make a table runner out. Another one that I did that same process out of with the echoing around, and I'll show this close up under the other camera, is my Just Be wall hanging. So these designs here were an exclusive design if you purchase, and I cannot remember if it was the Altair 2, Meridian 2. I cannot remember, but Baby Lock had us do embroidery collections. So this was my embroidery collection. And it only came with a certain purchase. So it came with, I can't remember if it was a Solaris 2 upgrade or if it was the Altair Meridian 2 upgrade. But my bees were in there. So you can see that those were my designs. Now the words I added on. Now what you probably can't see very well is that I did use some echoing effects here. I used some honeycombs straight off of IQ Designer. So that's one of them. And then another way you can do it. So in the Altair 2 and Meridian 2 and in the Solaris, you can do embroidered couching. And I wish you could see that better, but you can see I use the fills on the outside of this. They are not underneath, they are on the outside. So that's what we're going to be doing. And this is one you've probably seen before because I've had this one up for ages. I just love this one. It's quite possibly one of my favorites. And I love the fabric. It's very cheery. It's very spring. I need to hang this one up. Yeah, this one needs to be hung up. So I'm still working on my room. I've been hanging things up here and there. I just hung a baby. Oh, I should have showed it to you guys before I hung it. It is not sure how old it is, but it's only about yay big. It's a hate to say vintage, but it's probably circa 1920s, 1930s baby quilt. And I found it in an antique shop, talked them down to $20, and it's mine. I was going to take it and turn it into a purse, but I just couldn't do it. So it's hanging on my wall. So kind of fun. I think the Solaris, haven't seen that on the Meridian. Oh yeah, yeah, I can't remember when all these come out. But yeah, the couching is on the Altair 2 and the Meridian 2. Okay. All right. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about these, and I'll show you those under my camera so you can see the echoing and all that fun stuff. I keep saying echoing, the outlining. Let me say outlining because when I say echoing, you're thinking echoing like circles, or like design, you know what I mean. There is the echo feature on the Solaris, and if I'm remember if it's on the, let me turn on my Meridian real quick because it may be in the upgrade and I cannot remember if it might be let me check before I run my mouth. Let me turn this little guy on. He's just right here. So I have the Meridian upgrade too. I guess I gotta pick something. And yep. I don't know what I'm doing. No, why I thought it was. Okay, so on the Solaris, you can echo quill. Okay, all right. So let's get to it. So I'm just going to pick a random design while I'm doing this. And then after that, we'll go over the design suites. If you're not familiar with design suites, basically design suites is these great collections that Baby Lock and Mike Johns and Karen Parker have designed that are additional fills. Now they only right now, I don't know. Don't ask me if they'll ever be for any other machine because I have no idea, but are for the Solaris Vision or the Solaris Upgrade 3 or Palette 11. So, but they are a lot of fun to use. So I will show how to bring them into the machine. So let me get this guy and we will get to work here. Okay, so yes, tonight I am working on the Solaris. So regardless, right now, whatever I do right now, you can do on the Meridian and the Altair and the Destiny. You can do this on there. So let me quickly just kind of come right here and show you up close. Where did I put my bird? Here's my bird right there. Okay, now you can see that those fills around that design, around that bird. Look how beautiful. This makes me look like I'm a wonderful quilter. It makes me look good. I'm a terrible quilter. No, I'm a wonderful piecer. I can piece, man. I can piece like nobody's business. But when it comes to the quilting part, I'm so glad I have these machines because they make me look good. Okay, so you can see here I've got the honeycomb. And when I say echoing, this is what I mean when I say echo. So you can see echo, 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 it echoes. And again, here's the honeycomb as well. On the, let's zoom out just a little bit, not a whole lot. And then look at this one. This one's beautiful. So I'm just going to hold it back so we can all see. So I love this one. Oh, we're under a flash flood alert. Great. Okay. So this is my couching rose, and this is a fill. So they're just little leaves that just go up. I love that one. So you can use your fills in many different ways, but this is just one of the ways you can do them. So what I'm going to do is, I know I love that bird too. What I'm going to do, I will not be stitching anything out today, but just for time's sake, but we will be designing. So the first thing we need to do is, if we're going to do some outlining of a design and then put a fill around it, we need to pull the design up first. So if we go to embroidery and let's say I have something on a USB stick, or I can use one of the exclusive designs that are built into my machine, and take a look at those guys. You have some gorgeous designs built in. You really, really do. You can really use these for really anything. They're really, really beautiful. Like, I just realized there's a little cardinal right there. Oh, should make something for the family with that. Cardinals are a big deal in our family. Now these are really, really tiny, so I don't want to use anything really tiny to show you guys. But there's a ton of fun designs in there that you can choose from. There's even depending on what machine you have, there may be even some applique designs. There's some couching. Oops, there's some couching designs. I really need to play with those. Look at this bee. I really need to stitch that out. That is not the same one as mine, but I really need to stitch that out. Look at this seashell. I don't like beach theme, but I would stitch that out. That is really pretty. And look at this bee. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, but let me see what I have on my USB stick. I don't know what's on there. Oh, I do know what's on there. That's not what I wanted. Okay, no worries. We'll go back. We'll just pick a design off of here. It's not the USB stick. Um, uh, it's not the stick that I wanted. So Elizabeth says, I love when people use the built-in designs. Yeah, I mean, they're there. Why not? And to be quite honest with you, I'm going to brag a little bit, but these designs actually are really cute and they're really well digitized as well. So that's all I'm going to say about that. They're beautiful and they look good and they stitch out just heavenly. That one's probably a little too big for what I want, but I love that. I feel like some of these, there's so many to choose from that, some of them you forget you see. What about that one? That one's too big. I want to find something. I'm looking for a certain size. Too big. Heritage? We could do a feather. Okay, let's do this feather here. And okay, so we're just gonna do a feather. We'll start off with that. And that is really cute. And this is really, really calls to me because of where I live and the college and the history. So this looks really, really like something I would see around here in North Florida. Anywho, okay. So let's say I wanted to turn this into one of those quilt blocks that I just showed you. And I wanted to basically quilt around, use around the design using my fill stitching. Well, if I left it just like this and I went over to IQ Designer and picked a fill and brought it over, it's going to sit on top of it. Now, yes, I could move this on top of it, but then there would be stitches underneath it. There would be extra stitches that we don't need. So how do we get rid of, well, how do we keep that from happening? A really cool feature. So all you're going to do is you're going to go to your edit key. And then, and again, remember, you're on your destiny, your altair, your meridian, your altair 2, and your meridian, and all the Solarises, you're going to have this, and the Brother Light Machine. You're going to have this little bitty flower just like this, and you're going to tap on it. And what this is basically an outline. I keep thinking there's a different word for it, but my brain is not thinking about it right now. But what we want to do is create an outline around the embroidery. So this button does that. Now right here, where I'm touching right here, this creates a distance of that outline. I always move it away a little bit. That keeps the fill stitching from encroaching onto the actual design. So it gives it a little bit of breathing. Stamp key. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Jackie, because I've been struggling all day. I was going to pull out my books and then I was busy all day. So yes, this is your stamp key. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so the stamp key is going to create an outline. You're like, she's an educator. She can't even remember the name of it. And I got a lot in my brain. Got a lot in this little pea brain. So this keeps it, if you move it away a little bit, number one, it keeps it from getting too close to the, or your fill's getting too close to the design. Number two, it creates, like if you have batting underneath, it creates it, it gives it a little pop up, if that makes sense. It looks really cool. It almost gives it a tad bit of a 3D effect, if that makes any sense. So I always move it away just a little bit. You don't have to do it a whole lot, just a little. Now, if you have the Solaris, if we had letters that said like mom, M-O-M, and the O obviously has an inside of it, inside of this circle, right? You can click on and it'll put the fills inside of it. Otherwise, on the other machines, you don't have that feature. It's not a big deal. So what we're going to do, once I create this outline, what I'm going to do is select memory, or yours might say IQ right here. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to tell me something. It's going to say, hey, Anna, you're going to find this outline shape in IQ Designer inside of this key right here. Okay, they call this the stamp pattern list. I call it the shapes key. So whatever works for your brain. So we are going to, we're going to select OK. Because now I know where it's going to be. I'm going to select OK. And I'm going to leave this on screen where it's at. I'm not going to exit out or anything, but I'm going to add. Don't go to the home and exit out. You want to add. Now what we're going to do is look for IQ Designer. So yours may be somewhere over here. Mine is down here at the bottom. So I'm just going to tap that. The next thing I'm going to do, you'll see a little flick. If you see a little flickering, I have a candle on in the background. Sorry, I just noticed that you can see a little flickering in the on the screen there. Nothing's going to blow up. So now what we want to do is go find that outline. So we are going to go where? Where did it tell me to go once we got into IQ Designer? The stamp pattern list, or as I call it, the shapes key. So it's that little circle and square right here. So I'm going to tap on that. And then I'm going to look for that same icon that I selected earlier to create the outline, which was the little flower. And look, there it is right there. It'll always be the very first one, right? The very last one you save will be the first one. So we're going to tap on that and then say okay. And let me forewarn you, if for some reason, this has not happened today, but we've had thunderstorms all day long. You may hear some thunder. Here's a big one. If for some reason my power goes out, I will send a message into the group that says my power went out. It shouldn't, but I just want to let you know. All right, so now we see the outline. We don't see the embroidery, that's okay. The embroidery is on the embroidery side of the machine. We just need the outline inside of IQ Designer. So there's my outline. Now I want to create fills around this. But I kind of want to know what size block that I'm doing. So let's say I wanted to make 8x8 inch blocks. Okay, that's easy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my shapes key. I'm actually going to go up to this little guy right here. This is a frame. I'm going to click on it and look for 8x8. Now I could use the 9.5 by 9.5. Now these are hoop sizes. So if I'm going to use my 8x8, if I'm going to cut this block down to 8x8, then think about when it's sewn, it's going to be 7.5 by 7.5. But if I wanted it to be a finished 8x8, then I would want to use the 9.5 by 9.5. I don't have a 9-inch or anything like that in between because these are actual hoop sizes. So, but I'm just going to go ahead and select the 8x8 and say okay. And now we can see this red box around my leaf outline. And if I click off, we'll see a black box around. The red means that the item is selected. So if you ever want to get that red box back around, just go ahead and hit the back button once. Oops. There we go. Did I hit it twice? I don't know what I did. But there you go. That really is helpful when you're changing the size of things. So now what I want to do is, well, let me tell you about this box. This box will not stitch out. Because of where I selected it in the frames area, it's just a boundary line. It will not stitch out. I know that seems weird, but we're going to create an outline for it to stitch out. And it's actually super easy. It's just a button. So let's put a fill around the design. So what we want to do is we want to come to our fill properties. So that is our second grouping of 4 icons. 1, 2, 3, 4, right here. We're going to select on the little piece of paper, and then we're going to select this item right here, these little bubbles, as I like to call them. This little box is going to pop up, and I'm going to select. Now I can look through all of these, however many your machine has, and I can select the one that I like. Now I do have the Solaris Vision, so I do have all 48 of them. So regardless of how many you have a ton to play with. So look and see what you got, which one you like, and just plug it in. I just saw one that I wanted. I want this one right here. It looks like it would lend itself very nicely to the feather. So I'm going to select it and then select OK. I'll select a color because I don't like the color red. Okay, no, I'm the girl that does not like the color red. I'll select a pink color and I'll say OK. Does it matter what color I pick? No, because I can put whatever color I want on my machine. But if you like to make sure everything's matched up, choose the color that you're going to stitch out. Don't do white because you won't be able to see it. Okay, so now what I want to do is select my bucket and then tap in between the feather and the outside or the box. Let's just call that. There we go. Now I'm going to select next. Excuse me. And here's my design. What I want you to notice is there is no actual outline right now of the feather or the outside. You see a red box, but remember, that just means it's selected. So we want to turn the outline on. Now, if you're on an Altair Meridian, your outline is going to automatically be on. But on the Solaris, we have to turn ours on. And how do we do that? We're going to come over to this box right here that says off, tap on it, and then turn it on. Well, there we go. Now you can see my outline. So I can change the size of my fill. I do want to make this bigger. I think this is too much. So I'm going to come to my size and make it, let's go to 150 and see what it is. I like that. So I can even change the direction if I wanted to. I can go to the direction here to make these go up and down. Let's try that actually. Am I right if I do not? I can't remember. Yeah. I mean, that's cool. I'm kind of happy with that. I'll do that. I'll do that. That looks good. If you are on an Altair Meridian, you're not going to see the change real time. You're going to change your size, and then what you're going to hit is preview down here. So you're going to hit preview OK and then stop. Look at it. If you don't like it, you're going to hit the return button. And then you're going to change it and then preview it again. Once you're happy with it is when you can hit set. Once you hit set, you're stuck. But what you can do before you hit set to anything is select memory. That way you can go back and change it if you find that you don't like it. So you can save it by selecting memory and change it if you don't like it. Now what I'm going to do is say I'm happy with that, and I'm going to select set. Okay. Again, Altair Meridian owners, you're going to hit preview OK, look at it. If you're happy with it, you're going to hit set OK. And there we go. I'm done. I've just made my little embroidery quilt block. And now all I have to do is go and stitch it out. So it's a fairly, if you're new to it, it takes a minute to get used to it, but it's a fairly easy process once you get used to it and you're like, oh, I got this, I can do this. But look at now you can see what I was talking about. I have a little bit of outline around my design, and that's going to make it pop a little bit. That's going to make it a little more pretty. But I really like this. This is pretty. Maybe I should do a quilt with just the feathers, because there's multiple feathers in the embroidery collection. That would be really pretty. So like I have time, Anna. So, but what's next? Well, that's basically the outline and fill portion that I wanted to show you guys. But I got asked the question about design suites. And so I'm just going to go to IQ Designer and pull up a shape. So I just pulled up a square. Now, can I use design suites the same way that I just used the regular fills with around the feather? Heck yeah, you can. This is how you're going to get those on your, remember, this is on the Solaris Vision or the Solaris Upgrade 3. So let's say I have a shape and I wanted to fill it or whatever I wanted to fill with one of the collections from the design suites. I happen to have a USB stick that has the geometric shapes on there from the design suite. Ronnie, there you go. I didn't want to say it out loud, but yes, that was exactly it. If you have a design on your fabric, can I scan it and do this technique? You're gonna, it won't turn it into a fill. That's going to be really, Ernestine, that's going to be a long process because what you have to do is scan it in and trace the pattern. It can be done, yes, but it's not going to be like a fill, like you can just push a button and it turns it into, a fill. You'll have to trace the lines on by using your drawing tools right up here. I don't see why it couldn't be done. It's just going to take some practice and some time. So let's talk about design suites and what are designs? Design suites, maybe I should show y'all here. I know a lot of you have already seen this, but this might be new to some other people. So I am going to go up to here, Google, and go design suite baby lock. Design suites collection. You can go to the website and look at all the design suites and what's going on? I don't know, we're moving along. Lots of patience. It is a lot of patience, yes. Okay, sorry. No thanks. I've already got that. Okay, so here are all the design suites right here that you can play with. Now, these are additional fills that you can put in your Solaris Vision or your Palette 11 and play with. They're so awesome. And I'm going to be playing with geometric right here. So I'm going to open that up and let's look at that. Look at this quilt. Oh, it's stunning. So this is the one that I'm going to play with right here to show you guys. It's really beautiful. And I'll show you something that I've done that is coming up within the next few weeks that is going to be happening with all the baby lock educators. I'll just show you a quick something. Okay. Anywho, so what you want to do is have your design suites already uploaded to a USB stick. So basically it's just a copy and paste, just like you do anything else to a USB stick. So you would copy the designs and then you would paste them onto a USB stick, just like you would do a PDF or anything else. If you're not sure how to do that, definitely ask someone to help you. It's actually a pretty simple procedure, but if you're not sure, there's tons of people out there that will help you get that onto a USB stick. Then what you're going to do is place your USB stick into your machine. You're going to grab whatever shape or whatever you're working on, and I just brought a square in. And then we're going to go to our fill properties right here. And I'm going to go back to the one that has my little bubbles right here and then select. Now, where you're not going to see them is right here. You're not going to see them at all right here. You're going to see them under custom. So you're going to select custom. And these are ones that I've already pulled up. But what you need to do next is you've got to do one more step. You've got to come here to this little pocket and tap on it and it's going to read your USB stick. Now, if you, well, do some of them already come on a USB stick? I'm sorry. Let me start over because I get mine different than you. I told you to copy them to a USB stick, didn't I? What I meant to say is take the USB stick that came with the design suites and put it into your machine. So let me start over by saying that. So what should happen is once you, let me go back to that. Once you select this little guy right here, you should see all of those that are on there. So let's say I wanted to use this one right here. I'm going to tap on it and then say OK. Now, if you already have the amount up there that it can hold, it's going to say your data storage is full. So you need to delete one of the ones that you already have there. So I'll just click on this. No, let me click on another one. I'll just click on this one and say, okay, and it's going to replace that one. It's no big deal. So there it is. See, it replaced it. So I'm going to select that one and say, okay, select a color, okay, tap on my bucket and then tap. That was it. That's all you got to do. So again, let's go through that process again, just to make sure we got it. So you're going to take that USB stick that came with your design suites. Don't worry about what I said in the beginning. And we're going to go to our fill properties. We're going to click on our little bubbles. Then we'll select. We're going to pretend like it comes up to this, because it'll come up to this first. We'll then go to custom. We will then go to, now these are ones that I've already used previously. They'll stay on until I tell them to go away. And how, now look, I can clear them all. So let's clear them all if I want to. So I'm going to select my little pocket here. And I'm going to select a new one. Now these are the geometric shapes. This one's kind of fun. Let's look at this one. I'm going to say okay, and then okay again, and I'm going to tap my bucket and tap right here. Why that whole thing was solid pink, I have no idea. And there it is. Now I can go about my business. I can go to next. I can look at it. I can change the size. My outline is a satin stitch. Who cares? I'm not stitching this out. But wow, is that pretty. That one's really beautiful. I actually really like that. I should use that on something. Kind of Art Deco-y. Kind of really like that a lot. So that's how you're going to use the design suites in the Solaris Vision. So hopefully that makes sense. It's going to be the same way as if I did it like this with the feather. Let's do all clear. Now the feather is not on the screen, on the embroidery screen, but if I, oops, that's not what I want. Hold down. And remember, my machine's slow because I've got a lot saved on it. So let's pretend that I wanted to put it on the outside of this feather here. And let me go and put the 9.5 by 9.5 hoop size around it. And then go and grab one of the geometric shapes. Ooh, let's look. I love the diamonds, by the way. The diamonds are, ooh, that one's perfect. So they're still going to work the same way, but I'm going to, of course, make that bigger. That's too tight for me. Let's go to 150 and go all the way up to 200. Oh, ooh, ooh, that's pretty. I love that. Especially with that feather. That would be really, really cool. So pretty simple to use. Um, and maybe in the next couple weeks we can do it on palette, so I can show you guys who have palette and are thinking about getting design suites, how to use it that way, if y'all would like to see that. But otherwise, let's jump back to me. But otherwise, that's what I got for you this week. So I'd love to see what you have done with this technique. Another one that I've done that way is the baby lock symbol over there, with echo quilt. See, I keep saying it. Fill quilting on the outside of it. Let me show y'all, if you have the Solaris, the echo quilting. That's, since I keep saying it, let me just show it. Hold on 1 second. Let me get you back over there. Because you might be wondering, what the world is she talking about? So let's go let's go home and let's go grab an embroidery design and let me show you Echo Book. Let's grab these little lemons here because they're so darn cute. Let's say I wanted to do echo quilting around this lemon. And echo quilting basically is going to take the shape and make the same shape all the way around. Now on the Solaris, what we can do is we can go to edit and we can use this key right here. Wait a second, that is on the meridian. Let me see how the meridian 2. I'm just trying to, yep, the meridian, guys, it does have it. Meridian 2 does have echo quilting. So the Meridian 2, Altair 2 does have this. It does not have it in the first version. So we're going to select this one right here. And the first thing that it'll do on the embroidery side is either put stippling, or I can select this guy right here and do echo. Is that not cool? Now let me show you a quicker way of doing what I showed y'all to do earlier. Now, I love going through the hard way first and then showing y'all an easy way because I forgot to show you this way. But okay, so I'm gonna change this to, oops, to 9.5. This is your hoop size. Not 9 by 14. We're getting there. It's got to do its thing first before it'll let me do it. There we go, 9.5. Okay. Now look at this button up here, guys. I'm going to click on that. Guess what? I can do my fills from here. Ooh. I can move my distance away from here. I walked you through the hard way, didn't I? But when I do that, you're learning how to use IQ Designer. But you can do it the easy way right from the embroidery screen if you want to. All right, so let's look at our fills. Now, will it let us do the customs? Heck yeah, it will. Let's put this little swirly one around it. Oh, so pretty. I love it. I love that. Love that, love that, love that. So you can, from the embroidery side, just by using this little key right here, do everything that we did earlier. Is that not crazy? Yay! So, yeah, so it has the Meridian 2 and the Altair 2 do have the echo, and it also has the ability to use the fill stitching from the embroidery side. Is that not crazy? Is that not fun? Let me show you something. So if I take you the long way, I'm showing you how to use something to its fullest ability, but there is a shortcut. So however you use it, that's up to you. But regardless, it's a lot of fun. So, all right. I think that's it for me tonight. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. It's still pouring. It has been pouring since about, I have to ask Jason. He's been up since the butt crack of dawn. What time did he get up? He got up at probably, I guess, about 5-ish. And because he gets up early. And it was, I think, raining before then and storming before then. And it is still storming and raining now. And guys, I totally forgot that it was uh uh daylight savings time until like the middle of the day. And I'm like, I looked at my clock up here and I was like, we went through daylight savings time. I had no idea. I had no idea. All right. So thank you guys so much for coming tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead of you. We'll do something more fun next week. I have a great little idea to do. So have a great week. Remember to shop local, shop small, especially now, if you know what I mean. Try to support your local shops. There are big shops, big stores going out of business. We need to keep our little bitty baby stores alive and going. We need them. We need them more than anything. And hopefully you're supporting them regardless of whoever that corporation is. Corporate. Okay. All right, everyone. I hope you all have a great week and I will see y'all all next weekend. Okay. Bye, everyone.